Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Friday morning to you all. Hope you guys are feeling great out there this morning. I imagine most of us are. Friday is always a good day as it's the end of the week. Hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend if you're watching this a little bit later in the day and you're done with your day. But I got you an update on what is going to happen with your Friday weather-wise. We're going to break this down region to region as we always do. Not expecting a super active day, but there's a certain areas we need to watch out for a flooding threat, especially areas of the Northeast like Maine, which is going to receive a lot of rain over the next, I would say, 24 to 36 hours. And then we're going to talk about the S word again, which is snow, but certainly not for areas further south. You know, I think a lot of people just assume when I say snow that it's for the south, because I know a large portion of my audience is from the south. But if I mention snow, guys, or if you see it in the thumbnail, that doesn't mean it's going to snow in the south. It's in October. We rarely, if ever, if we do, it's historic, see snow in the south in October. So just keep that in mind. But some snow is definitely falling out there this morning in portions of the Great Lakes region, in the Midwest, and the North Central U.S. So we'll talk about that. But if you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. It goes a long way, and I really appreciate the ongoing support. As always, sometimes I feel like I'm a robot when I say these same things in my intro in every video every morning and evening, but just mean that it's sincere. Just know that it's sincere, and I mean it with all my heart. So if you guys got anything that I can pray about, pray over, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it, and it gives others an opportunity to do so too. If you see my gray cat shoot across the room behind me at any time, well, she likes to hang out with me in the mornings. I don't know if any of y'all got cats, but something about my cat. I got two cats, and I've mentioned this before. One's named Stormy and Kylo, but Stormy, which is my older cat, which she isn't that old. She's about a year and a half, 2 years old. She loves cuddling and just showing love in the mornings, but in the evening and afternoon times, she ain't about it at all, but she likes to hang around me. Me and my wife always bicker back and forth of who she loves more, but she definitely loves me more. But anyways, let's talk about the weather. So cold front digging. I mean, it continues to dig across the eastern U.S. You can see it kind of the outline of it, or the boundary, whatever you want to call it. So dry air has moved through. For example, in my area here in central South Carolina, I went outside and worked out about 5 a.m. By the time I was done with my workout at 6 a.m., you could feel a difference in the air. More dry air had moved in, and it felt like it was 5, 6, 7 degrees cooler. But for areas, this is the way that this cold front's digging. For areas like the Northeast, and basically the further east you get in the Northeast and the further east and Northeast, you guys are still waking up to some moist conditions. For example, Boston all the way up to Maine, it's very moist. It's still humid up there for October standards, and you guys are seeing a lot of rain. So we'll talk a little bit about that here in a second. But I will mention there is a slight risk for excessive rainfall to occur today and really over the next 24 hours for a good chunk of Maine. The entire down east areas of Maine, the coastal regions of Maine could see a lot of rain. Several inches of rain could fall today. I'm not talking about like 6 inches of rain, but certainly widespread areas of 1 to as much as 4 inches of rain can fall in this region. It's basically you just got a funnel of rain coming in off the Atlantic Ocean into the coastal region. So you guys are going to see a lot of rain. You guys were under a big drought, especially southern New England like Mass, Connecticut, Rhode Island, a little bit earlier this summer. But since then, you're making up for lost ground, and we're certainly thankful for that. But you certainly don't want it all at one time. But that's about the only active weather today, really, as far as something you might want to be concerned about or just aware about. Not necessarily concerned, but just aware. Let's break down the Southeast first. Listen, pretty quiet weather. Ain't really much to mention. The only thing you'll mention is with this front that's moved through, it's stalled down here in Florida. So everywhere just south of Florida or along the boundary is going to see still those tropical rains, downpours. So if you're in Orlando, really just south of Orlando, Tampa Bay, points south, certainly some pop-up downpours are possible. It can make its way, you know, just kind of probably sea breeze driven, if you will, throughout the southern peninsula of Florida. Outside of that, maybe some showers drifting into areas of the southern Ohio Valley. But not a whole lot going on in the Southeast today. Now, the Northeast is a pretty active day. The trough is digging. Therefore, you still got a funnel of moisture that's still getting pulled up from the North Atlantic here. Therefore, the rain will likely end for Boston a little bit later today. In fact, here's what the radar looks like out of Boston right now. Let's see if we can get this in a motion here in a second. Here we go. So you're still dealing with a little bit of rain. There's probably some gusty winds out there. Right before I went to bed last night, they had upped the wind gust potential for this area. So hopefully it's I don't know how y'all are. I don't know how many people view from this area, but hopefully it's not too bad and there's no power outages and you guys are faring well out there. But I know southern New England is very accustomed to strong winds, so I know you guys can handle it, and certainly hardy people up there for sure. But um, that's the rain. This rain will continue to funnel all the way up through Maine. And in fact, you look at the HRRR model for today, as we're getting into about midday, rain will continue for Maine, and this will continue to funnel into Maine. But I think the heaviest rain will shift overnight for far eastern areas of Maine, Caribou, all the way to this portion of the down east areas of Maine, the far eastern portions of the coastal regions of Maine. But we'll finally get this out of here by maybe sometime tomorrow morning altogether. We'll finally lose this rain. But between now and I would say, let's go on and move this all the way through Sunday morning. Sunday morning, between now and Sunday morning, I mean, as much as basically the entire, I would say, eastern to southeastern portion of Maine, half of Maine, could get 1 to as much as 3 inches of rain. Not quite as much for the northern portions of Maine, but listen, widespread heavy rain over the next 24 hours for Maine. So you guys just be aware, maybe some flash flooding for certain areas who keep getting hit by the same heavy portion of rain, or if it just trains over the same area. Just be careful up here in this portion of the country today. Just a lot of rain in a short amount of time. South central U.S., listen, quiet weather. The only area we'll watch is just some light showers this afternoon in northern Missouri that will drift into Illinois and then Indiana a little bit later today. Maybe St. Louis could see a shower later this evening for any outdoor activities. Outside of that, pretty chill weather. The north central U.S., I always love talking about snow, even if it's not in my neck of the woods. It's snowing in portions of the north central U.S. right now. In fact, I saw a tweet by the National Weather Service in Duluth. They said they picked up about 1.5 inches of snow. So listen, it's snowing up here, guys, and it will continue as we get into the afternoon. A little bit of a low pressure will swing through, a little bit of spin to the atmosphere. So a couple guys that watch from the UP of Michigan, you guys could see some snow showers today. But it's probably going to be a rain mixing with snow. It just depends on your exact location. I know there's some hills up here and some downright mountains up here, a couple thousand feet up in the air. So it's probably going to be elevation driven. Maybe if you're in those areas where you're not in higher elevations, maybe it'll just be rain. But this will be kind of a cold air aloft. So you guys are going to certainly see some snow showers drifting around. These could be some heavier bursts of snow showers throughout the day too. Anywhere from Minnesota, the northern half of Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan certainly could see this today. And we'll go on and flip back to the radar and actually go to the Duluth radar here, and let's see what it looks like. And we'll have to switch this, and this always moves so slow for me. But look, Duluth right here, and let's see if it'll switch. Here we go. Look. So look at all the blue on the map, guys. And if you're wondering where we are, this is Minnesota, this is Wisconsin. So it's an area of maybe light or maybe it's sometimes moderate snow. And this is even trying to sneak into Minneapolis right now. Let's see if we can get the icons up right here. Yeah, ping report. So it'll tell us who's reporting what. Yeah, so look, check this out. Some snow being reported this morning in Minneapolis. So really impressive to see. But like I said, Duluth reported 1.3 inches of snow as of about an hour and a half ago. So, it's accumulating up here, guys. It's just that time of the year. We're in mid-October. I always love seeing this, guys. It's just a sign of change. And for you folks that's been watching for a long time, you guys know that I'm a fan of cold weather. And I think that's obviously where I picked up a lot of my subscribers back in the winter, was when I was, breaking down the winter storms. And I've had a lot of comments saying I'm really excited about your winter weather videos. And trust me, guys, I am too. But let's hope we can get a nice widespread winter storm for everybody on a Friday too, like it seemed like that we got last year. Seems like every winter storm in the Southeast that happened last year, or even not just in the Southeast, but a lot of people were on the weekend. So that causes less chaos. This gives us more time to enjoy it. So let's hope that's the case this year also. But temperatures for Friday, high temperatures, listen, nice fall air mass from Birmingham to Atlanta to Columbia, Charlotte, Raleigh, Richmond, Virginia. I think the humidity will hang around in Boston points north, but then dry air will move through later this evening, but quite chilly for the north central U.S. If you're from Des Moines points north, into the Dakotas, into Minnesota, the entire state of Wisconsin, into the 30s and 40s for highs. Michigan, very chilly. You get in the Ohio Valley, just depends on where you are. The southern sections of the Ohio Valley, very nice day. But if you, depending on what you consider cold or not, once you get in the northern portions of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, northeast Pennsylvania, if you consider the 50s and 60s cold, then it's going to be a chilly day for you today. But the south central U.S., this first trough did not really affect you guys. It just did not dig. So Dallas, Oklahoma City, Little Rock, Shreveport, well into the 80s today. Jackson, Mississippi will likely get into the low 80s. So that's all I got, guys. Y'all have an awesome day. I'll try to be with y'all this evening. Y'all know that Friday nights are always tough. There's not a whole lot going on. It's hard to get a video in. We typically go out with the family, and tonight we're going to pick out my little girl's Halloween costumes. So I'll be doing that. But if I don't get with y'all tonight, apologize, but life is life here. Got to enjoy the family life. But there's not a whole lot going on. So all I would be doing is pretty much reiterating these same information about the big cold coming in. But I probably will still try to sneak a video in. But anyways, I'm just rambling here. You guys have a blessed day. Have a great Friday. Great start to your weekend. And I'll talk to y'all soon.